The poem All World, the world is a stage, is written by William Shakespeare. As William Shakespeare was one of the greatest dramatists in the world, he wrote a number of dramas, sonnets, and in the world of English literature, the name of Shakespeare is eternal, immortal. He was a poet, dramatist, and particularly in the time of Queen Elizabeth, first he became popular. The present poem is taken from William Shakespeare's The Great Drama, As You Like It, and it is uttered by one of the characters, that is Jakes. And therefore, you will see that in this poem, there is a process of human being. That is, Shakespeare thinks that man lives about in 7 stages. Man lives about in 7 stages. 7 stages in a sense from an infant to the old age, when he becomes wretched, he is become weak, that stage. It is a kind of metamorphosis. That is, when the child is born, the man is born, at the time his weight, his total progress is very, very weak. But in the course of time, he goes on developing up to the end of life. And Shakespeare thinks that there are about 7 stages, 7 pages, which you can easily access. That is metamorphosis, in a sense, a total development of the human being takes place slowly. That is, from the birth up to the death, man faces a number of procedures, number of progress. And therefore, Shakespeare calls this world as a stage. Shakespeare thinks that this human life, this world itself is a stage, Natka is a stage. And all the human beings on this stage are just players, They play some role, and after playing the role, they leave. And therefore, Shakespeare calls this world as a stage, and he thinks that all men and women are merely players. In this world, all men and women are players, and they have their own entrances and exits. That is, they enter, they play role, and they leave the stage. Means, in a sense, if the population of the world is 600 crore, on this stage of the world, there are more than 600 crore players. And man or a woman plays a number of roles. That is, you are having different stages. That is, if you imagine that the child From the beginning itself, the child and infant. That is the stage. On this stage, you will find the human being. From the child itself, he goes on later on to school. He becomes a school boy. He becomes a college boy. In a sense, school boy, college boy, later on he becomes a lover or beloved. He becomes a husband or wife. Then he becomes or she becomes father or mother. And in the last stage, perhaps he or she may become grandfather or grandmother. He becomes a soldier. Means in this stage, you will find that there are different roles human beings can play. Means in the beginning itself, the child is just in the cradle. It is in the company of the mother. It is in the company of father. And the small child which is just born, it is having 1 day, 2 days, 6 months. The child lives in the company of the mother. The child lives in the company of the father. And after that, the child leaves the mother and goes to the school. That is primary school. First standard, second standard, third standard. Then he goes to high school. Fifth standard, sixth standard, up to 10th. After 16, he becomes a college boy. Just like you. In college life, he dreams a lot. He dreams a lot and he wants to live different type of life. In the same way, later on, he marries or she marries. Means this life is continuous. That is, Shakespeare thinks that in this world, every human being plays different role. I shall tell you simple example. For example, you have to play a number of roles. Suppose you are a boy. Remember that you are the son of somebody else. You are the brother of somebody else. You are the nephew of somebody else. You are the cousin of somebody else. You are the relative of somebody else. You are the neighbor of somebody else. You are the friend of somebody else. And you are at last, you are the citizen of India. And in the classroom, you are the student of Sangala College. Means the different roles that is have been assigned by nature itself so that you can play. And therefore, Shakespeare thinks that all the world is a stage. What happens? That is from childhood up to age. Remember that when the child is born, it is in the cradle. And when the same child becomes old, after 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, the same child becomes weak because he is on the verge of exit. He is on the verge of exit. Exit in a sense, you are or we are in a condition to leave this world. Means just like in drama, the character enters and the characters leave. You see, even at your own home, even at your home, when early in the morning, all people are in the home. But slowly, one of the members or most of the members leave the house. They gone for fulfilling completing their duties. And after completing their duties, after having job somewhere else, they return after that to home. Means even your home itself is a small stage wherein you can play. And that is what Shakespeare tells us.